So today, just wanted to talk about something quickly. I think it's gonna be a quick video, but basically, I wanted to talk about changing your view on work. Now, obviously, many people who work, normal jobs, 9 to 5, they think that is work, right? That's work for them. That's how they make money. However, when you're hustling, when you're trying to make money online, it's actually quite different in terms of what work is for you. So I heard about this recently, and that's how I changed my view on it. And it's actually quite helpful in the sense of you feel productive, even though other people might think you're not being productive, right? But you're still being productive. So first of all is, as I said, normal people view work as actually working and making money. So average people view working as obviously working, going to a job, blah blah blah, and actually from that you're making money, right? But the way, in my opinion, if you're obviously in self-improvement, or you're trying to get into self-improvement, obviously you're trying to make money online, trying to build an online business, you're a hustler, all that kind of stuff, the way you should view work is like this. You should view everything as work. Now, obviously that's not entirely correct. You shouldn't view everything as work. But what I mean by that is, I'll give you a few examples and then I'll tell you what isn't actually work. These are a few examples, right, of what working is, but people think it isn't work. So meeting people, you're working, networking. Obviously, if you're meeting friends, even if you're meeting friends, you're still working. Hopefully, you should be talking about business. You should be talking about good stuff. Obviously, if you go like purposely to party or something like that, like a night out or a lads' night out, it's not really gonna be work. But meeting people, meditating. For me, what I thought is meditation for me was like a waste of time. But someone actually changed my mind on that. And meditating, just sitting outside and just thinking nothing or doing nothing is just a waste of time. But if you're meditating, or if you're sitting outside and you're reflecting on and analyzing your life, then that's working. Messaging people. So obviously you're working, you're messaging people, closing deals, all that kind of stuff, especially if you're an appointment setter or you're in sales or anything like that. Messaging people is basically your job, right? Traveling. Now, by traveling, I mean going town, going shops, obviously, again, traveling, going to other countries, all that kind of stuff. That could be for networking reasons, all that kind of stuff. You're still working, right? Now, those are a few examples. What is not work, though, is obviously, as I said, like purposely having fun or going out partying, etc. I think family time, you can't really put that as work. The last and biggest thing was when you're consuming like mindless content. So if you're just scrolling through Reels or TikTok, or you're just watching random pointless YouTube videos, now that's not work. And the problem is that average people who think that's the only work you're doing, what they're doing after this is just watching mindless content, right? However, if you're self-improvement business, trying to build online business, etc., you're basically, what you want to do is get these to replace obviously the mindless content. So for me, for example, when I changed my mindset about this, so I started thinking of these things as work and all that kind of stuff, I started enjoying them more, I started doing them more, and I cut down on social media a lot. Like in terms of, I cut down on consuming mindless social media, YouTube videos. I cut down on that a lot, because I started thinking, right, so if I sit outside and analyze, or if I go for a walk, etc., or whilst I'm going on a walk, I'm messaging people or listening to podcasts or something like that, I'm still working, so I'm still doing something productive. like what I heard is the biggest sin in life is wasting your potential and doing nothing, right? So even if you're not doing any deep work or anything like that, and you're being productive, it's still good, right? Another thing I wanted to talk about is, yes, it's all good to shift your mindset to this, but once you actually shift your mindset to this, then you kind of start thinking of how to work whilst doing some stuff that you shouldn't be working. So for example, on the toilet, right? When you're on the toilet, you could be working, you could be reading a book or anything like that. When you're traveling, you could be working, you could be reading a book, you could be messaging people, all that kind of stuff. So there are, actually I'll write down the board, a few prime examples of when people just waste time, and it adds up to a lot of time, right? So in my opinion, the main ones are toilet, waiting, and traveling. Now, there's probably like a lot more in terms of things, everyday things you do, but you're wasting time. But these are like the main categories, if you want to say. Toilet. When you're on the toilet, right, most people, especially these days, like they're on the toilet for 10, 20 minutes and they just do nothing. So you might as well read, you might as well message people. Or I do for appointment setters, you do outreach on the toilet, right? So shouldn't really be wasting time. You shouldn't use that as an excuse to go on social media, because that's what most people do, right? They're still on their phone. But if you're on your phone, you might as well do something productive. Or if what I heard as well is people make that excuse of, oh, I don't have time to read. Well, read on the toilet, mate, right? That's what I used to do, right? Read like 10, 15, 20 pages. So waiting, right? By this I mean waiting for a bus, waiting for a train, waiting for your food to cook, waiting for your food to get delivered, or when you're at a restaurant, anything like that. Waiting, I would say you wait like a quarter or a third of your life, right? And you shouldn't be wasting that time. So things I can think of is, obviously when you're waiting for a bus, most people just go on Reels or TikTok and just wait that way and just consume mindless content. But I think best things you can do when waiting is message people, talk with people, go on the phone, have a chat with your family, friends, girlfriend, wife, whatever. Or you can obviously read, right? Do anything productive that's not consuming mindless content. Last one, traveling. It's pretty much kind of links. So even when you're walking, right? What I do, for example, is I either listen. When I'm in like a good mood, or like I'm cycling somewhere quickly or something like that, I'll obviously listen to music. But if you're walking, just walking in general, you can focus at the same time. So what I usually do is listen to, so I'm in like some Telegram channels where there's some guys do voice notes and that kind of stuff, or I listen to podcasts or something like that whilst I'm walking, right? When you're in the car, listen to maybe podcasts or something like that. Again, same thing with train, bus, anything like that. So traveling, most people waste their time doing, just as I said, consuming mindless content, right? So once you change your view on what work is and what's not work, you're going to start seeing yourself implement these stuff, or you should be implementing those stuff, right? And then your productivity level will skyrocket, right? Now again, this is my experience. You shouldn't really, I'm not really any sort of professional, anything like that. But yeah, hope this helps someone. If you got any questions, again, let me know. Message me on IG, anything like that. Leave a comment. But yeah, in a bit.